doing? It is so good to see you. It must be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time because we do this every week, Monday through Friday. So jump on in. I would love to see everybody just come on in and let's have a little bit of a party today. If you do not know who I am, I would love for you to put a 1 in the chat. If you've never seen any of my content before, my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and we talk about insulin resistance like day and freaking night, okay? I'm in Minnesota. I was raised by a type 2 insulin-dependent dad who died at 63. Italian, lots of obesity, lots of type 2, lots of, it's genetic conversation going on. Yeah, we'll just kind of like flip that switch a tiny little bit. So today, you guys, the topic today is actually the food fix for insulin resistance, why eating more nutrients melts fat and brain fog. So stick around. We're going to chat just a little bit. When it comes to like any housekeeping, the next 5-day reset challenge for insulin resistance in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, is going to be Monday, June 2nd through Friday, June 6th. And I go live in the group every day at 3 p.m. and you do not have to sign up. It's like you just show up, no sign up, just show up. That's what we do. And it is our 25th one. Amazing. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. Okay, so let's jump into today's topic. This came born out of a reel that I saw. And to be really honest, the guy wasn't tagged, so I don't know who he is. The minute that I find out who he is, I will let you know. But this information so resonated with me because it's the conversation that I feel like I'm trying to get forward all the time. And you kind of feel like you're just like a little off. So when it comes to how I very much walk people on a journey, so that you have a path that actually gets you results, that actually gets you success, that actually keeps you like learning how to fish and not just doing the next fad or all of that, whatever. I actually recently just have kind of like combined it all and I've named it FIRE. And the reason why is because I can light a fire under your health for you. I can help you do that. But the F stands for food first. It goes like this. It goes food first, insulin, smart supplementation. What's the R? I just had it in my brain. It just left me. The E is empowerment. The R is root causes. And every single thing that I talk about, like it literally comes together under this thought process. So when it comes to food, if you go back in time a couple of years ago, when I was talking online a lot more broadly about hormones in general, the minute that I just touched the envelope of insulin resistance, whoa, I could feel the response from you. Like, whoa. So that's why I stepped into this. But I never really wanted to talk about keto because keto is so muddy. It's so messy. There's so much bad information out there. There's so many people trying to capitalize because we all want to just capitalize on the latest and the greatest conversation. And that just brings us right back to marketing again. And I'm just not interested. So I did a lot of studying over the last 7-8 years with I've studied a lot of Maria Emmerich type of stuff and I share a lot of her recipes, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to food, trying to find a way to explain this well can be challenging sometimes. But I feel like I got a little nugget here that I want to share with you as to how you can, because I am 100% convinced, if you understand why you're doing something, you will hold on to it and go the distance. You will hold on to it and go the distance. So even like last night, we did a webinar. Webinar was about food and targeted supplementation, insulin smart supplementation, the I in FIRE. Because if you can understand why, if I can get you to understand what it actually looks like and means to detail your body like the engine of your car, and it's not that mountainous and it's not that hard, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's right. That's why I'm taking that supplement. Okay. I can, I'll continue instead of going, I have no idea why I'm taking this or this or this or this. And I don't even know if it works. But That's the conversation I get from you all the time. Well, I'm taking blah, 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 blah. These are what's in my basket. I don't really know why I'm taking all of that, but like over time, it's just accumulated. So it's the same thing with food. Let's get some understanding going today. And I just really want you to walk away today with just a couple nuggets, right? And you'll be able to take them and apply for today. And then I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time because that's what we do. Okay, so food first. What no one told you about nutrients and energy. And you guys, I just felt like this was a very comprehensive conversation and it will help you to understand better. So, are you eating 3 meals a day, but you're still exhausted? You're bloated and you're stuck in a body that you do not recognize. By the way, if you're on the replay, put replay in the comments. I like to know where you're coming in from and that you're on the replay. Are you eating 3 meals a day, but you're still exhausted, bloated, and stuck in a body that you don't recognize? You can raise your hand in the comments, raise your hand in your mind, just say me, just put me. And if you also find that this information ends up being helpful for you today, just share it out, okay? Like, follow, do all of the things so that people can get this information. The real issue is not your willpower. How many times do I have to say this? I want you to stop shaming yourself. I want you to stop putting yourself down and being unkind to yourself. It's not your willpower. It's that you've been taught to chase calories instead of nutrients. Oh, what they have done to us, what they have done that we have to undo. So today I'm revealing why food first is the F in my FIRE method and how this one shift can change everything from your belly fat to your brain fog. Okay, so here we go. Part 1, why food first? I apologize. I have an itchy nose. I have no idea. I think it's just my cat. I don't know. When I say food first, I'm not talking about just eating clean. I get that a lot from you. You're in my DMs, but I'm eating clean. I'm eating healthy. Hold on. Just hold on. It's not just about eating clean or cutting sugar, although I want you to cut sugar, but that's not the point. I mean, understanding that food is information. What you eat is information to your body. Your body needs 2 things, okay? It needs nutrients and it needs energy. The nutrients are the building blocks: protein, vitamins, minerals. Protein, vitamins, minerals. Okay, that's the nutrients. Then it needs the energy, the fuel. And you get your fuel from carbs and fats. But hold on, just hold on, right? And notice that it's carbs and fats. So just throw all of that old gym thinking, gym rat thinking, gym whatever, throw that in the trash because I'm going to have to help you navigate that just a tiny bit. But in today's world, this is what's happening. We're getting way more energy, right, than we need, and we're not getting enough nutrients. This is why we are nutrient deficient in our society. One of the main reasons, right? So an example, we would probably as Americans eat like a slice of white bread, 80 calories and barely any nutrients. Like there's nothing in there. You know, it's enriched, which means nothing. As opposed to one egg that has 70 calories and it's full of an amino acid profile, choline, B12, and more. So those calories, and even the egg is less, but still, if the bread is 80 and the egg is 70, they're like kind of close enough, right? One has 0 nutrients and one has major nutrients. The food is information for your body, okay? So both are energy, but only one nourishes your body. They're not the same. You have to trash all of that stupid, bad, horrible, awful misinformation, trash marketing, calories in, calories out, eat in a calorie deficit. That's all that matters. If this package of Oreos only has 100 calories, you can have 12 of them a day. Like this is BS. We know it. You just need somebody to like remind you of it. That's BS. Okay. That's not, if that worked, we'd all be skinny buying all those snack packs, right? Now, If you eat like all day, but you're still really, really tired, that can happen when you are loading up on energy bars, toast, coffee, but there are no nutrients in what you're eating, right? So people are like, they're grabbing a granola bar, they're grabbing, like just whatever, grabbing toast or a bagel and running out the door, etc. Or you cut calories, but you gained weight. Has anybody ever done that before? I understand this. You reduce your food intake, but your body panicked. Tracking? Your body panicked because you cut both the nutrients and the energy. So understand, cutting the nutrients by eating, you cut your calories, eating things that are not high nutrient dense, are not highly nutrient dense, but you also cut the energy because you cut the calories. So now your body's like, whoa, what's going on, right? So maybe you once thought that being healthy meant smoothies and salads, but you felt worse. Okay. That probably pushes a few buttons, maybe. So this is science made really, really simple. Okay. Let's do this really, really simple. Talk about metabolism. Okay. You don't even need a lab coat for this one. You don't even have to put on a lab coat. I don't even have to pretend like I'm a doctor on TV, which of course I don't, but point being, your body uses nutrients to turn energy into power. All right. So without nutrients, your energy gets stored. Can you fill in the blank? How does it get stored? As fat. As fat. Without nutrients, energy gets stored as fat. That's why nutrient poor food can actually lead to weight gain, even if it's low calorie. So you telling yourself that, well, that bag of chips is only, whatever, 130 calories. I don't even know what it would be. That's okay. And we play these mind games with ourselves, but it's so lacking in nutrients that it ends up getting stored as fat. Okay. This is why just cutting calories is dangerous. You are cutting your energy, but also the very tools that your body needs to function, because again, it's not getting the right information. It's not getting the right information. So let's replay just for a second the way that I talk about insulin resistance. Okay. So and then we'll go right back here. Hold on. I want to see this. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Sana. Very, very, oh, yep. Black neck. Yep. That's the darkened skin from insulin resistance. That's correct. Hi, Terry. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. So when we are talking about insulin resistance, over time, as you are spiking your sugars, this will explain maybe to you, Sana. When you are spiking your sugars all the time, right? That's normal in the sense that your body is going to take your food, the information that you give it, and it's going to turn it into energy, and it's going to try to get it into your cell so that your body can perform. This is what we want. But if you're constantly giving it food that spikes your sugars, like this, as your body begins to release insulin, which are like the delivery trucks, these are empty semis going to pick up the energy and take them into the storage unit, which is your cell. So it has an empty box to it. It's going to go fill up with the sugar, which is the energy. I don't mean sugar like it can be anything that turns into sugar, that turns into glucose, which is what your body wants for fuel. Okay. So let's call the blood glucose fuel. So you're giving your body fuel by spiking. Your insulin trucks are going to pick it up and take it into the cell. But when your cell is closed for business, that is when you are resistant to insulin. So your cell says, not today, not interested. I'm kind of stuffed, kind of full, kind of toxic, like back off. And it refuses the truck. So now the truck is going to do something with all that fuel, and it's going to actually store it as fat. This is why you're on the struggle bus. This is why. So when you come and you say to me things like, well, I haven't really quite cleaned up my eating yet, or I'm just really struggling with trading out and I'm still eating mashed potatoes or potato chips, or I'm still drinking sugared soda. I'm still whatever it is, I just don't know how to stop the pasta. Number one, I completely understand what you mean, because that's where I was 10 years ago. And I thought, oy vey, how will I ever trade out my food? So I really do understand. And I have an incredible amount of empathy because I understand the food connection. That has to do with the mindset. We'll talk about the mindset about that on another day. Today, we're talking about the F in FIRE, food first. So then when you can't get energy into your cell, you are tired. You are not getting fueled properly. Your body is starting to store fat, including inside of your liver and around your organs, etc. The belly's growing and you're like, what is going on? You don't even recognize yourself anymore. And you chalk it up to just being old. You chalk it up to just like, oh, my metabolism is slowing down, which is true, but it's not like it's just a given. We create it. And then we tell you it's normal and don't you worry about that. That's just the way it is. But that's not true. Your body was actually created to heal. Your body was actually created to function. We just kind of drove it really badly. Okay. And we treated it as though we never had to change out the oil. We never had to change a filter. We never had to detail the engine. We never had to run it through a car wash. We didn't have to do anything. We could just drive it with the gas, the pedal all the way down and never pause to do anything for it. Well, then we get in a pickle. And that's usually when I hear from you telling me, oh my gosh, my labs came back. My cholesterol, my triglycerides are through the roof. I have high blood pressure. They want me to go on this STATIN. I'm on high blood pressure meds. I have fatty liver. I'm 2 steps away from type 2, or I am type 2, and I'm on this med, this med, this med, this med. That's what we're doing. So now we have to go like this. Let's rein it back in. Let's pull it back. And you can. And you can. Not following their method. Let's be clear. The medical matrix has their method. I have my method. And there are also a lot of really good people out there spreading this conversation. So I get my information from other people, right? Like there's that collaboration and, built on my entire life experience, like sad, but true. I said the other day, I was bribed to lose weight at 11. My first diagnosis of insulin resistance was 22 when I was gestational diabetic with my first baby. Like I've done it all, people. And I didn't even start to change this until I was 50. So I'm in the exact same boat that you are. I just was able to take a different path. I saw their method and I went, super not interested. So through my own experience and journey, I created my own to help you to try to understand better. Yes, you can. You can turn this back, and I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. So when it comes to food, here we go. The solution is you have to have more nutrients and smarter energy. The foods that you choose matter. You have to scrub your brain of the marketing information that tells you that all that matters is the calorie count on the back of the package. What a scam. What a scam. Oh, isn't that nice of the government? They put the calories on all of the nutrients on the McDonald's menu. It means nothing. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Calories matter. But it matters in terms of the nutrition that's coming into your body, because the calorie either has good information for your body or it has no information for your body. And your body is seeking nutrition. This is why we are deficient. This is why when people start certain supplementations, and I know this because I've been doing this for 14 years. So this is like a wheelhouse of mine, right? There's so many things I don't do well. I mean, I could list them off. There are a lot of things that I don't do well. Helping people customize targeted supplementation, I actually do really, really well. So I've seen people fill in their nutritional deficiencies and their body goes, their body like, like if your head is down and you are not functioning. I remember being in this position, like when my cat is crying and I don't know why. And I was being given an epidural with my oldest son because I was gestational diabetic and he was 9 pounds, 13 ounces. So you can just imagine all you want how that labor and delivery went. So I had my head down. I'm sitting on the side of my hotel bed and I'm like this. And I'm just forlorn, just OMG. I don't want any stimulation. I'm just like, as introvert, like if I could just crawl inside of myself, I would, right? But they give me that epidural and I literally went, and I looked up and I looked around and all of a sudden I could see the light wasn't bothering me. I could talk to people. I could form sentences. But that's what happens when you give your body the raw materials that it needs in order to function. It begins to wake up and it begins to fire properly, like your synapse, like everything connects. Like you took two wires that were meant to be together and you put them, and all of a sudden the electricity. This is literally what happens when we fill in our nutritional deficiencies. So when it comes to food and you're doing food first thought process where you're fixing that for insulin resistance, because you are insulin resistant, you are going to now shift the way you're doing this and fuel your body. Eggs, think about eggs, B vitamins, tons of protein, choline, amino acid profile. Like when they used to have that information, the incredible edible egg, that was not a lie. That was actually good marketing because the eggs are incredible. God just put all of this amazingness in one little, pocket, and then basically the powers that be, and you can decide who they are in your head. They went, oh yeah, bam, 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 bam. That's exactly what they did. Eggs are bad. Eggs are bad. Eggs are bad. We lost out big time. Now we even question, we eat eggs and we're like, okay, I'll eat my eggs, but I'm still a little concerned because they made you that way. They told you to be afraid of eggs. Okay. Beef liver. Now I am not a liver person. I'm just not. My mom used to make liver and onions like once a year, but you can also take it in a multivitamin. That I do not have in my line at all, is to have an organ supplementation. At least yet I don't. But beef liver, it's nature's multivitamin. Sardines. Now, oh God, jeepers, gee willikers. I am not a sardine person. My husband does eat, however, herring in wine sauce. Does anybody eat herring in wine sauce? I would love to know. Sardines. Ruth says yummy. Okay. But the point being that if you like them, God bless you. Omega-3s, calcium, like very, very good for you. Leafy greens, fermented foods, avocados, right? Avoid things that literally have no nutrition and they're detrimental. Vegetable oils, white bread, sugary snacks, protein bars with 20 plus ingredients. Remember the other day I was talking about how in a pinch, like maybe once a year, I'm on the road, I will go and I'll grab a Quest bar because at least I know it's not going to spike me too bad, whatever. It's protein, gives me a little treat or whatever, but I don't live on those, you guys. We have to change the way we think about living on bars and processed foods and all that stuff. I do have, in fact, this morning, even with my breakfast, I have a grass-fed whey protein powder that is like 5 ingredients. Phenomenal. Sweetened with stevia. I did the chocolate one today. It kind of tastes like Nestle Quick. 30 grams of protein. 30 grams of protein and branched chain amino acids. So I'm like, I added that actually to my breakfast to really spike my breakfast high in protein. So my breakfast was like, I'm like at 50 grams of protein right now, as I sit here, probably more than that. Okay. But I will be full now for hours. hours, full and satiated. So I won't need to eat and I won't need to spike my insulin. I hope that makes sense. I really, really do. So these are the myths. Here we go. Myth number 1, calories in, calories out is all that matters. Big fat lie. Bridger liver in pink. Oh. Okay, hold on. You're saying something about liver, but I'm not. Liver and onions, maybe? I don't know. Oh my goodness. Liver. Oof, oof, oof. Okay. Not true. Calories in, calorie out is not all that matters. Come on. We have to, let's come into 2025. Let's bring our minds into 2025. Do we not actually think we have to have proper nutrition if we're so deficient? If magnesium can freaking change your life, which it can, don't you ask the question, why am I so deficient in magnesium? Why is the entire United States so deficient in magnesium that it's literally changing our lives? Got to ask that question. When I talk about the trio, the 3 supplements that have the ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, it's filling in trace minerals. It's filling in nutritional deficiencies. Why are we so deficient that our bodies can't even function to keep our blood sugar balanced and our insulin down? Why? We have to ask that question. Myth number 2, vitamins from food aren't enough. Just take a multivitamin. The truth is that real food does have cofactors and enzymes, but the other part of that is that when our food is nutritionally deficient, we actually do end up supplementing for that. Food was supposed to have everything that we needed in it. It's not the case all the time anymore, especially when we are deficient in certain trace minerals, etc. However, you're supposed to be eating high nutrient dense foods like eggs and meat and nuts. Nuts like, what's my word? Marginally, because I'll overeat on nuts. Number 3, that is a myth. Low fat is better. That is bad, bad, bad. That's one of the biggest problems that was ever perpetrated on us. Is animal protein better than plant protein? It's a complete protein. Let's see. Oh, my juice on my phone is not as yummy as I need it to be right now. Animal protein is a complete protein. And you know what? Plant protein, obviously, phytonutrients, yay for phytonutrients. We love that. And we do want that. And especially when you're talking about helping your liver, et cetera. But oftentimes when you're talking plant protein, you're talking about like peas, which can be really high in carbohydrates, or a plant protein powder might have a lot of grain in it to offset. And so no grains, no legumes, no sugar when you're trying to really deal with your insulin resistance and actually shed the weight. Like I've lost 3 sizes in my 50s just from supplementing and trading out my food ingredients. Like super simple thought process, right? But low fat is not better. That is actually, I think that has cost our society the most. The carnivorous diet, good. Yeah. Carnivore is really good. I am not carnivore, but you know what? There are so many people that are changing their health structure by going carnivore, not only just in weight, but also in nutrition, because it's a very nutritionally dense way to eat. We've been marketed to, and y'all are sitting there thinking that kale is a superfood. It's not. It's not. Look up today, make that your homework. Show me the nutritional difference between kale and beef. We've just been lied to. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat kale. I'm just telling you that's why. So I don't know how to teach keto and vegetarian or vegan. I don't know how to do that. Somebody else would know how to do that better than me. That's not me. Okay. For insulin resistance. Okay. I don't know how to do that, but oftentimes there can be nutritional deficiencies when people are in that arena just because, they don't have the full profiles of the amino acids. They have to supplement a lot differently to fill in those blanks. Okay. So I'm just telling you that. But when it comes to insulin resistance, if you're trying to stop spiking your sugars and calling on insulin all the time, then oftentimes a vegetarian is high grain, and high grain is no bueno for the insulin resistant person. Oh, bread beef liver with pork panko. Oh, bread the beef liver with pork panko. Shut up. Have you done that? Is it good? I would love to know. I would love to know. What's a typical day for me to eat? I eat a lot of protein. I think in terms of protein all day long. So this morning I had eggs and like a good chicken sausage, good ingredient chicken sausage. And then I rounded it out with a whey protein powder shake. That's about as processed as I get on the regular basis. I don't eat bars. I'm not eating whatever. And then like later on, it depends on what I'm in the mood for. But I do make a lot of really good, keto things like keto lasagna. I do like to do chicken wings with pork panko. She's talking about liver. That's really good. I like to make, in fact, today I want to try to make a Marie Emmerich bread. That's an egg white bread, etc. But my goal is high protein with less snacking in between meals. Because when you snack, you're raising your insulin. So that's kind of how that goes. So when it comes to the good fats, make sure that you're thinking olive oil, avocado oil, butter, lard, ghee, like those things. Ditch the seed oils, the vegetable, the canola, the soybean, etc. So having this food first thought process is very important, because this is what happens is you get stuck in this cycle of dieting. And when your liver is tired and toxic from dieting, it's not going to help you metabolize fat. And then you are so stuck and you don't know why you're stuck. Okay. But then you end up with a lot of stubborn belly fat. So changing out your food is a really good step. And that is like how I am teaching, right? So food first, insulin smart supplementation, root causes, and then basically your mindset. Having to deal with your mindset is such a big piece of the puzzle. So even like starting right now today, you could add one nutrient dense food to your world. Okay. And if you want to accelerate anything that you're doing when it comes to, do I eat 3 meals a day? You can't seem to get that in. Well, Meg, I think it depends on, because she's saying the carnivore diet is expensive. See, I just don't see it that way. I mean, okay, and I'm not carnivore, but I'm very streamlined in how I buy food. So because I'm not buying a lot of snacks and I'm not buying anything that's prepackaged, and I'm buying so few things in my world and then creating food out of it, that I just find that it's not, I find that I spent so much more money before when I was buying a lot of prepackaged stuff, because it wasn't filling me up and I would have to buy so much more. I hope that makes sense. But I know that everybody, depending upon where you live, it's probably, could be true. I don't always eat 3 meals a day. And that's, you don't need to. And you don't do any snacking in between. Patty, you are really doing a good job. That's amazing. You're doing such a good job. Now, before I jump off, if anybody wants to, if you want to accelerate going from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive, I'm going to just share with you the insulin smart supplementation. If I don't do that, then I'm not doing my job to help you. This is how I had to get started, because my food noise was so crazy. My sugar addiction was so strong. And I knew that it was going to take me time to trade out my foods. And guess what? It took me 3 to 4 years. Now that was me, and I was very slow, and you don't have to be as slow as I am or as I was. You don't have to be as slow. But I will tell you that I started with the trio, which are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is kind of everything all in one, meaning bringing down your insulin, your sugars, getting your liver function up, and helping your metabolism. So this is a kind of a comprehensive thought process, just the trio all by itself. Great place for people to start. If you want to add in help with your gut, because your gut's what helps you to create your GLP-1, your gut is what helps you to actually move that impacted waste through. You want to be able to deal with a leaky gut. You want to be able to deal with a yet another level, like ramp it way up of helping your liver. That's the gut primer and the probiotic. And everything I talk about is everything that I like. This is what I do. I am my own example of this. People are like, do you actually take every day? Like I don't miss. And this is basically, it's the supplements that are helping you. Just saying, Patty, you're amazing. Thank you for saying that, because if I'm not mistaken, you are on like the trio and the gut reset, right? I guess you remind me what you're on. So this looks like a greens product. I do not like relish the taste. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It just smells like it's green, it's turmeric-y, it's gingery, tastes like tea. So I put mine in a little bit of water, about this much water in the morning, cold out of my fridge. I froth it up and I down it like a wellness shot. Okay. Because I like sweet things. Why do you think I had a chocolate shake with my eggs this morning? I'm just saying, that was after I had my primer and all of my supplementation, and then a probiotic. You got to get your good bacteria into your gut. If you will take the time to fix your gut, game changer. The testimonies that I have on that gut primer, just mind blowing. Okay. So you're on all of them. Okay. So you're doing the total reset. So she's doing the trio. These are the 3 supplements. You were asking about what the trio is. These are 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. And you know what? Reach out to me in my inbox on Instagram, and I can actually screenshot that. And I will, and the gut primer. Okay. Yeah, I can send you information on that. No problem when I jump off. This is where I started when I was 50. This is where I started. Okay. Because my body was not responding to pretty much anything. I really did run it like it was a rented vehicle. I ran my body very poorly for all of my life. I could go into that and I won't. The gut reset. So she's doing the trio. She's doing the gut reset, the primer and the probiotic, and she's doing the orange pixie stick. I talk about this every day. I'm actually on my 30-day reprieve right now. So this is a powder and it tastes like candy, but what you need to know is that it will help you to like reduce inches off of your trunk area, which is where your visceral fat is. It's a clinical dose meant to target your visceral fat. But what's really cool, yes, it does change your body composition. So we like that, right? But dealing with that visceral fat is so freaking important. Now, it does taste like candy. It tastes like orange candy, but it is a thermogenic. It's created as a sports nutrition piece. It's for people who work out. Now, you don't have to start working out to do it. And I know that sounds like it too good to be true, and I get it. You can experience it for yourself. Everything has a 6-month guarantee. But I recommend that you do 1 on your tongue every day for 90 days. Measure yourself. Measure yourself. Okay. Do it for 90 days and then take 30 days off. And I'm on my 30 days off right now. And I don't like taking my 30 days off, not because I gained back my inches. I don't. And this is the second time I've taken a 30-day break. So that's not how it is. But because I like the treat of it. I did an in-person expo on Saturday, and we were talking about this, and she said, this is what I do with mine. She was so cute. She said, I take this because it's orange, and then I take some of those Bake Believe chocolate chips, like 3 or 4 of them, and I take them at the same time. I thought that was brilliant. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a great idea. And she goes, and I take it as a treat. I'm like, game on. So anyway, I'm on my 30-day off. But as a thermogenic, you don't want your body to get used to it. You want to be able to do another 90-day round and watch your composition change at another level. I did not think that I could begin to lose like my back hips, how you get the hip going across the back. I didn't know I could change that I just turned 60. I kind of had very much accepted it, thinking this was going to be normal. I'm just telling you, like, we all have our own limited beliefs as to what can possibly happen. That's funny because I love it too as a treat and it tastes so good. I know. So Patty is on what I would call the total body reset. If you have actually ever reached out to me and you've said total body reset, maybe on a reel, or I have a little 5-minute video on the total body reset. That's what that is, where these 3 components that I'm talking about, she's doing all of them. So just telling you. Okay, so Shelly, I will send you stuff. And I think I got that one too. Let me see here. Creamed herring, Ruth, you're disgusting. You're not disgusting. Creamed herring, stop. That is really funny. So everybody you have such an amazing day. And if you need anything, reach out to me. Get into my inbox, get into my messenger. Like, it's so important. If you're looking to accelerate what you're doing, it was a journey for me, you guys. It wasn't an overnight fix. But I'm telling you, it was worth every little step that I have taken, because now I've been able to take all of that experience and put it together in a method so that you can actually get walked with on your journey and actually get results. And the results have been losing weight and getting off of meds, and people having better lab results, and people having non-scale victories like tucking in their shirt, or, just like, for me, it's always about like having function. I wake up and I don't ache, and I get on the floor with my babies. And the reason why this is, like, in my opinion, one of the most important conversations that we could ever possibly have is because, number one, it is not a terminal diagnosis. And number two, it is stealing your life. Insulin resistance is stealing your life. And this is stupid. The reason why it's stealing our lives is because we have been lied to. We have been given lack of information. We have been given downright misinformation to keep us fat and medicated. We have to fight back. We have to say, listen, I understand my insurance isn't going to cover supplementation. We have to stop expecting that that's going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to pay out of pocket for your own health and wellness, whether it's the food that you're eating or the supplements that you're taking. But then at least do it with somebody who's gone before you and can lock arms with you and help you to journey. Like, that is literally my goal. Okay. So if you want to, like, be a part of the stream of testimonies, like, you guys are just amazing. You guys crush anything that I ever did. You have overtaken what I have done for myself. You've overtaken it. You've done it faster. You've done it better, because you grab onto this concept of, I'm going to do food and supplementation, and I'm going to, like Patty, I do them all. I just did, I'm going to do it all. And then boom. And you guys hit that brick wall with such a good force that you actually, like, take ground much faster than me. I was a dallier because I was on my own. I was those sweet potatoes won't hurt me. That's what I was doing. So anyway, all right, you guys have, thank you. You're so funny. You go, girl, she says. Amen. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I will get off and go answer questions. I can see them coming in. So have a really good day, you guys. Love you so much.